Tyler Perry, somebody sent me a clip of an interview that you did recently where you were discussing how you don't want to discuss race with your 7-year-old son at this time. Now, I don't know if you said this to avoid discussing the issue, because I know how media likes to use what black men say about race against us. And although you're a very successful brother, you're still black. So maybe you just said this to distract from the topic and move on to something else, which I respect and understand. But according to this article that I'm reading, it says, quote, Tyler Perry says, quote, I haven't had the conversation with 𝚂𝚄𝙱𝚂𝙺𝚵 because he's only 7, and I want to hold out as long as I can. I don't want to tell him that there are people who will judge him because of the color of his skin, because right now he's in school with every race, and all these kids are in the purest form. When he describes his friends, he never describes them by race. So the moment he loses that innocence is going to be a very, very sad day for me. I'm going to read your quote again, Brother Perry, and I assume it's accurate. I'm going to assume it's accurate, although I know the media can distort what we say. And then I just want to give you respectfully an analysis. And I'm not really speaking to you, Brother Perry. I'm speaking to all black parents, and especially middle to upper and elite, financially elite black parents and celebrity parents who will have to tackle this issue of educating their children about race. I'm sure you know who I am, but in case you don't, I am a doctor of clinical psychology, and I am a certified school psychologist, which I have studied for the past or practiced for the past 30 years of my life. So I just want to read what you said again, and I want to give a psychopolitical analysis of your statements in the interest of educating all black parents when it comes to teaching their young children about race and racism. Quote, I haven't had the conversation with 𝚂𝚄𝙱𝚂𝙺𝚵 because he's only 7, and I want to hold out as long as I can. I don't want to tell him that there are people who will judge him because of the color of his skin, because right now he's in a school with every race, and all these kids are in the purest form. When he describes his friends, he never defines them by race. So the moment he loses that innocence is going to be a very, very sad day. Okay. First of all, Brother Perry, right from the beginning, I want you to understand that the psychological research in the field of psychology, both black and white, has pretty much made it clear that children not only know their race by the age of 4 years old. Your son knew he was black at 4, roughly around 4, some a little younger, some a little older. By 4, on average, black children know that they are black. White children know that they are white. Asian children know they are Asian. Mexican children know they are Mexican. Native American children know that they are Native American by the age of 4. Not only do they know their race at the age of 4, Brother Perry, they also tend to know the level of respect and status their race has in the world by 4. Now, with your son, because you are a very financially successful man, he may not yet know the status of black people in America. He might not yet know the status of black people in the world. He may have been shielded from that, but I can assure you, your money has not shielded your son from knowing he is black. More importantly, Brother Perry, I will bet you your last dollar that those non-African children in your son's classroom knows he is black, and they know that they are white, Asian, Arab, East Indian, Latino, Mexican. They know who they are. They know who your son is. Now, you say your son doesn't reference his classmates by race. That is true because you have failed. I don't want to use the word failed. You have not yet educated him as to who he is and who they are. But I am quite certain, and you can take this to the bank, those white children, those Asian children in that class, know that your son is black, know he's not one of them, and they discuss him at home with their parents. And they discuss you at home with their parents. Tyler Perry and all black parents listening, rich, poor, middle class, upper class, elite, stop being afraid to indulge your young children in a conversation about race once they make it known to you that they understand that they are somehow different from other people. Dr. Umar's rule for introducing the education and concept of race to your children is based on when your child makes it clear to you that they know that they are different or that other children are different from them. When they come home and say, Daddy, what does being black mean? What does white mean? Why am I a different color? It's now to talk about race. Because whether you don't want to admit it or not, your child is being programmed. Your son, rich or poor, is being programmed about race in school. He's being programmed about race on the internet. He's being programmed about race on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. He's being programmed about race by his teacher, his tutor, his athletic coaches, his extracurricular activity coaches. He's being educated about race with every book he opens, every magazine he sees, every television show or commercial. You cannot hide race and racism from your child. All we can do is choose to be ignorant. All we can do is choose to be ignorant. If your son knows he's black, Tyler, it's time to teach him about his blackness. Your son is a black boy. He's not a girl. He is a male child. And you yourself know, because I'm sure you have your stories of racism in Hollywood. I'm sure there are white film producers who hate your guts because of how successful you are. And I'm sure they try to sabotage your work every chance they get. So you know about racism because the higher you go, the more racism you experience. Not the less. Not the less. The higher you go in this world, the more racism you get as a black man. Your comforts are improved. Your conveniences are enhanced, but the racism is intensified. You have to dot your I's and cross your T's more than any other producer in Hollywood. And I know you would agree with me. Your son being black and your son being the son of Tyler Perry, he's going to have to be on his P's and Q's more than any other black boy because his family and his father has more to lose than any other black family. Your son has more to lose and you have more to lose than almost any other black man in this country with few exceptions. Jay-Z, Bob Johnson, Denzel, a few others, but you guys are at the top. Y'all have to be extra careful and you have to raise your sons extra carefully and educate them even more so on the issue of race and racism. So by the time when your son makes you aware that he knows what race is, it's time to educate him. It's time to bring out the books. You should already have images of great black men on your walls in your home. You should already have images of great black men on the walls in your son's bedroom. Remember, he's being programmed every day. Your son goes to an exclusive school, I assume, with rich white people, rich Asians, rich Arabs, rich Native Americans, other rich blacks. I can assure you, your son is only one of a handful of black children in that school. He is a minority despite your money. And one thing that rich blacks have to understand, your money can only protect your child, but so much. This is America. Rich blacks are given conveniences. You are not given privileges. Don't confuse your conveniences with privileges. Don't confuse your access with privilege. There is nothing in the American legal code that protects rich black people any more than it protects poor black people. Go ask Bill Cosby. Go ask Bill Cosby. Go ask Bill Cosby. When they want to get you, they will get you. And if there is no true proof, they will simply make it up. I know you know this. Now, here's the issue I'm having somewhat, Brother Tyler. It seems as if you think, or you wanted the interviewer to think, that your son isn't aware of race yet, and he's 7 years old. That's impossible.